Hello, this is the same day recording, and that's probably because tomorrow I won't have time to make a recording, and I want to make as much content as I possibly can while the idea is still fresh in my mind. Um, Also, I need to build a house. Like, I've been thinking about that since I recorded the first session, which was like 7 hours ago. Yeah, so I need to build a house so that I can stop thinking about that. Anyways, I just got back from a lecture and it was pretty brutal and useless, but that's like how most lectures go. I just went to this one because maybe there'd be important information because it's almost exam time, which there was, so it wasn't entirely useless. Um, Anyways, what am I gonna talk about now since I've already sort of unloaded everything in the first episode? I guess I can talk about like the quality of people I notice. Um, I think a lot of people around my age, like young adulthood, they're still very much lost in life. They don't really understand what they're doing. Um, I'm like, I'm sort of like that, but at least I have like, I think I'm also in that category of like just perpetually trying to get by, figure life out. And I don't know like what age people sort of just like life clicks for them and they don't have to really ponder such matters anymore. Um, oh yeah, I wanted to build in the jungle, but now I'm thinking about it. It's built like in the jungle in my last world I had, so I want to change up the scenery, so I'm gonna just explore for a bit more. And anyways, because everyone is sort of lost in life, at least all the people around me, it's just sort of like uh, the only people to talk to are confused people, and that's kind of a they're either scared or they're confused and scared, or they just like don't care. Those are like the three sort of instances of people that are immediately sociable. Oh, there's bamboo. I should grab some. Um, I think life is a little different for me personally because I think like most people get all their socializing done in high school. Whereas for me in high school, I just like COVID happened in grade 9 for me, and we were just sort of taught to avoid people. And then we were obviously allowed to go socialize again, but the sort of ideology stayed with me that like you should avoid people. So I avoided people for 2 years after grade 9. So grade 10 and 11 had like gone through high school without any friends, just simply because I wanted nothing to do with anybody. And going 3 years of like that an important social development stage, just avoiding people is very not good. So yeah, if you're a teenager and you're scared of talking to people, at the very least, I would say expose yourself in environments where people may talk to you, because then it's like it's bound that somebody will eventually talk to you, and then you will develop some sort of social capacity. Now, I eventually did in like last year of high school, so grade 12. Um, that was mostly because my teacher sort of forced me to join an extracurricular, which like I say forced, but like I had free will to just say no. I just like my teacher I had put so much effort into getting me to join. Um, it's like when somebody cares about you or your life that much, you gotta go through with sort of following their advice a little bit, right? And that's what I did, and that's where people then spoke to me, and I in turn learned that people are not something that should be avoided. But I did not learn how to approach people, so now that's where I am in life right now. It's like I crave that same sort of like people connection I had in grade 12, but um like how do I go about sort of just feeling comfortable with approaching people, just strangers, right? Because at least with like a club in high school, there's a common interest. I'm not even recording, am I? Okay. Hi. I was recording, and then I thought I wasn't. So then I accidentally pressed escape, and that I didn't accidentally do it, but I tried to press escape to see what my computer was doing, and that crashed my game. So, anyways, we're back now. Anyways, I was talking about socializing. Yeah, it's like I've only ever approached strangers, which, which weren't even fully like, complete strangers. I had like a few things in common with them, but only ever done that twice, and like both times it's just been unsuccessful. Um, in terms of like furthering that connection, I guess. So maybe like that's a skill I should keep trying to do it. So eventually I will inevitably get decent at it because that's how skills work. But um, is it worth it? I don't know. Because like I said in my first episode, the people that do end up becoming close to me, they end up leaving anyways. So uh, I mean that's like a loser's mindset though. Like you're gonna say, like I'm gonna say go around saying I already lost before I even started trying. Um, it's I don't like thinking like that, but unfortunately I do, and that's just like it's dreadful, honestly. Like why do I think in patterns that I know is wrong? Um, Speaking of which, like for whatever reason, man, like I just get like these flashes of like violence scenarios in my head just randomly sometimes. And like today, literally 30 minutes ago, I was just like picturing like really like I don't even know if I could say it, but like I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about it here because I don't know the consequences of doing that. It's like why do I have these thoughts? I've been having a peaceful life for the most part, so I shouldn't be conceptualizing these sort of like just psychopathic thoughts. Um, I don't know. I don't really like the way my brain thinks sometimes, but most of the time I do. Most of the time, it's quite a good brain, I would say. And that's all that really matters. Um, Moving on, new topic. Um, I think, like, one of my main problems in life right now, aside from like not having a job and having to maintain academic um, like success, would be just like I've never been in a sort of relationship, and that shouldn't really matter. But I think like most people in high school at least get some like form of that, where it's like they'll learn lessons that are good to have learned by now when you're a young adult. It's like I don't have those lessons, so like I'm just going into this arena of these people who have more life experience than me, and so that makes me a little bit naive in this context. And it's like, do I really want to? Do I feel comfortable being not so knowledgeable um, in the social arena? No, I don't. I don't know, like, if someone might ever try taking, let's say, advantage of me. If, like, how do I detect that? I think I would have to just rely on my intuition, which is not based off of any real life experiences. But, like, overall, I'm a pretty sharp sort of, like, brain, I guess. So, uh, it shouldn't really be that bad, I think. Also, like, dude, there be some days where it's just like pure solitude. That's brutal. But I've gotten used to it. Like, no sort of anybody to just talk to, or people to live life with. It's tough. I think as humans, like we're cursed with being social creatures, I guess, which isn't even a curse, but it feels like that in this day and age. And why is that? Probably like I'm gonna say like social media has a little bit to do with it. I don't want to like sound like a sort of boomer, but it's like yeah, social media does in fact have impacts on how people perceive each other. So now it's like everyone, first of all, since they're using social media so much, um, forces them to live an unhealthy lifestyle, which naturally um, sort of creates uglier people in society. You know, less exposure to sunlight means worse quality skin, and like, oh, I need coal. Okay, let me find coal. What was I saying? Oh yeah, yeah. People just their quality of life, their health bar in a way, it's like damaged by the time investment of social media. Even mine, like, it's pretty bad. I'll spend like maybe an hour or 2 hours a day just wasting time on my phone. And it's like, I don't know why I do that. I could be doing so much more with my life if I just didn't. But I do it because it's easy. And so does like everyone else. And, and like it not only makes the person who's watching these sort of like interacting with these sort of social media apps that just rot your time away. It makes those people who interact with them makes their life worse because you know that's time you could spend bettering yourself that is otherwise just spent doing nothing. So it's taking all that time and like however many hours that is in a year, it adds up, right? And it's like it's not only just preventing your progression, it's also sort of idealizing or standardizing the level of life at which, like, sort of people who put effort in end up being at. So it ends up being like, well, I want to be on these people's levels, but I can't because instead of spending time getting there, I'm spending time staying where I am, you know? And not just staying where I am, but acknowledging the existence of better people. That's, I think, the kicker. And that's why everyone's sort of mental health is in the journey right now. I mean, obviously, like, well, not obviously, you guys don't know anything about me, but I do things that theoretically should improve my life. But it's a lot of effort, and like, it's a lot of effort, and there's been no results. Zero. Maybe I'm just like used to being a loser, which, because I'll admit I was. And I'm not just saying that to be like doomer maxing. I'm just bringing attention to the point that like it's important to take a step back, realize who you are. It's like, what do you have going for you, and what can I do with that information? That's very important. Right now, things that are working in my favor are my like slow increase in physical health and my environment of having access to socializing at like literally a couple steps away whenever I want. There's just like a batch of new people I can talk to if I so choose, which is a lot easier said than done, by the way, for me at least. But there's also things working against, like bettering life, I guess. And it's different for everyone, so you gotta look at your life and sort of assess what's going on and where can you go from there. I think that's it's very important to take a step back, be conscious of yourself. Because it took me a while to figure that out. Like, I think I was like 15 or 16. I think I was 16 years old when I first actively was conscious, like, which is really old, by the way, to do this. Like, most people, they do it a lot younger. But for me, it took till I was like 16 to like recognize, okay, at the time I was like a fat teenager who actively avoided anyone, like any person, just avoiding them. And it's like, alright, we can't socialize. We're obese. We're weak. Grades were alright. Why were grades alright? Because it was high school, and frankly honest, high school is like, it's pretty easy. Um, in the grand scheme of things. And it's like, okay, what can I do to sort of not suck? And well, my first step was, okay, let's cut out all the junk food. That's the very first step I took. It's so easy. It's such a small thing, but it domino effects, right? Because like for me, I quit eating junk food, and then I'm like, okay, what if I also now start exercising? Start moving, doing some movement, just something to not just be sedentary all day, every day, just a little bit, okay? And then I'm seeing results from that, and then I think to myself, well, okay, now let's learn what calories do. Uh, so I go into a calorie deficit, lose all my weight. I'm exercising, and suddenly I don't hate being out in public anymore, because I don't think I'm a disgusting human being anymore. And it's like, wow, maybe life isn't so dreadful outside of home. Because my home was my safe space, right? Why can't I craft copper tools? Am I like missing something? Anyways, guess I'll stop wasting my coal on that. And then basically one thing leads to another. Now here I am, 2025, December. By the way, I started my fitness journey like a 2024, but like not at the start, like halfway through or 3/4 through. So a while ago, I've come a very long way. Not as far as I could have had I started doing what I'm doing now, but I never would have done what I do now had I not started at all. So, like physically speaking, I'm alright. I'm doing good. I'm healthy. I don't have to worry about my health anymore. And although I never really did, but like now I really don't have to worry about it. And that's like it's a big difference, you know? You go from like A to B, I guess. Like a lot of people, I guess, when they're younger, just sort of their lifestyle inherently forces them to be healthier. But that was not the case for me. I had to like learn how to be sort of proper in terms of the health department. Also, why are there so many drones? Like, this is a consuming amount. I don't understand. Anyways, it matters not. You can still hit. Hold on, I need to kill these mobs. I tried his friend. Oh wait, I already said that story. Yeah. So health is important, guys. Take care of yourselves. If you think you're hopeless, oh no, I might die. It's like I was in a pretty bad, like, I struggled in like the gym class that the school forced everyone to do. And that's like supposed to be easy, and it is easy. But it was very hard for me. It was almost impossible. I dreaded it every single time I had it. So yeah. Wherever you think you are, however bad you think it is, there's always a way out. And, you know, I've actually known very stubborn sort of people who would not recognize that. And they just wanted to be the victim. So ultimately, it's up to your mentality. Do you want to just go through life being a victim, and or do you want to learn what you gotta do? Yeah, it's a lot easier said than done, I know, but don't beat yourself up. You know, you're alive. That's that's a good thing. Even though it may not always feel like it. So don't take that for granted. Who knows? Maybe one day your life might be very valuable to somebody else. And so, if for nothing else, keep working on yourself so that the potential future influence you may be um, can actually be influenced by you. There's always hope, right? Although it's very hard to remember that there always is. It's a very sort of key message. Oh, a Sakura biome. I would build there, but it's like it's too modern. Um, I mean, I have to go to like I have to go again pretty soon. Time is not infinite, but I really like playing Minecraft. I need to build a house before I go. I don't think I have enough time to do that. If I built in the jungle biome, I would have had enough time, but I don't want to do that again. Where am I going? Cherry biome? I think it's this way. Yeah, it is. Okay. Also, another thing, if you're like Gen Z or younger, the dating scene is very, very fried. I'd say it's like 99% luck based on whether you even find someone that like is even relatively like somewhat aligned with like the potential of being a partner. Because I feel like the quality of humans nowadays is just it's so hard to find somebody who's actually worth investing time in. And like once you do, right, if you do, like that's the first battle, just finding someone even worth pursuing. Once you find that person, it's like they then have to be open to also being in a relationship, or at least trying to like assess you. And like because just everyone has such a bad vision or like reputation just preset the rest of society, it's like right off the bat you're like you're just not getting any sort of sustained interaction with these people. It's just like please leave me alone. And like yeah, it's like I don't think anyone wants to get to know anyone else anymore. Maybe that's just my experience, but it's like and I'm talking purely for like relationship purposes, by the way. I mean, obviously friendships, they're a lot more casual, so they're a lot more easier to form, and it's like you typically the same gender, so there's a lot less differences in thinking. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it. So there's a ton of barriers, like comprehension of life. I think is entirely different for each respective gender. But like, we're in a society, at least I'm in a society where like a good chunk of people go around believing there's more than two genders, which like off the bat, just immediately eliminates a good chunk of people as people worth sort of pursuing, because like you're really gonna go try to even have a conversation with these like deranged people. I'm not. Maybe that's a me problem. Maybe I should, but I can't. And also, like, I don't know how other people do it, but I think like with dating specifically, kinda have to go after like this people in the same sort of race. And I mean, like to a normal viewer, that might sound like a racist thing to say, but it's like that's how people are sort of just meant to be, I think. Like crossbreeding, it's fine, I guess, but like I don't know. To me, it goes against like the natural order of things. It's like it's like getting like a foreign plant and bringing it to a country's ecosystem. It's like, well, now it's a little contaminated. And as bad as that sounds, I mean that's what it is, right? I'm not even being like I'm not trying to be racist. It just sounds racist, unfortunately. But That's my thinking. Um, like, yeah, I don't know. Also, like, in relationships, having a reason, like, why are you looking for a relationship? That's a very important sort of question. It's like, I think if your answer is to not be lonely, that's the wrong answer because as much as it would be nice that that would be the right answer, um, it's like you can still be in a relationship and still feel lonely. And if that happens, you're kind of screwed because now you have to either just erase an X amount of time worth of effort with a partner, or you have to just add more time to an inevitable failure of a relationship. And either way, it sucks. But the first option, I guess, is less sucky, so to say. Um, and this like problem sort of arises, like for me at least, um, the reason to actually start being in a relationship should be because you love that person. It's like, well, um, automatically, I just go out in the world with this negative view of everybody. So it's just like really difficult to give anyone sort of like they like just convince myself that anyone is worth it. And the other person like they don't have to be aware of that. Just like in my own head, I can't I can't convince myself that this person is worth it. Or and this person I just mean like a random person. I'm not referring to anyone specific. Anyways, I think a lot of people act off of emotions instead of logical processes in these sort of things, which is why like half of them fail. You know, you can't trust your emotions, and when you take your emotions out of the equation, well, life just becomes kind of horrible, but at least like you won't do stupid things, right? So like everything has a trade-off, you know. You make smart decisions, well now your life is going to forever be miserable because you ignore your emotions. Or you follow your emotions and you know your life feels good, but then like a couple events down the line, you're like you look back and you're like, what the hell just happened? So be careful, basically, I guess. Although maybe I'm just coping. I don't have all the answers. I don't have any answers. I'm just yapping on a microphone because why not? It's better than just sitting here being quiet with myself, waiting for tomorrow to happen. So I can go to a 2 hour math lecture where my teacher can spam concepts at me faster than he can even like do them in his head. It's very annoying. I think this sort of field here is where the house will be. It's very beautiful. Let me just make it daytime and then I'll make the outline of the house and then I'll end the video. Or I guess podcast? It's kind of like a podcast, isn't it? Oh, I have these treasure maps. I didn't even look at them. Maybe I should have. I could have got diamonds, but now I'm too far. Maybe I'll do that later. When do people actually do things they say they'll do later? Probably 3 out of 10 times. If I had to just give an arbitrary rate. Ooh, this cliff up here looks pretty nice. Right there. I think a house on top of that cliff That's the. There's a village? Oh my. Yo, guys. Yo. I found the base spot. Also, I'm talking quietly, like really weird, softly, because it's like people are trying to sleep around me, and the walls in my dorm are paper thin. I don't know if I said that in my first video, but I said it now. Also, this will be uploaded tomorrow, most likely, if I remember to upload it tomorrow, because my internet here is very bad, so it takes like 2 hours to upload a video, and I am not leaving my computer on for another 2 hours today, because that'll bring me to 11 o'clock. And if I go to bed at 11 o'clock, I won't get enough sleep to make it to my 10 a.m. lecture tomorrow. Because, okay, guys, another side tangent, real quick here. Make sure you get enough sleep. It's so important to your well-being to sleep for like 8 hours a day. If you have insomnia, go talk to your doctor about getting drugs to not have insomnia. Cause honestly, like you need to sleep. You need to. Not that you should, you need to. It's like you're not sleeping for 8 hours a day. You're killing yourself, okay? That's the mindset. It's a mentality you gotta have. This is gonna be a balcony, by the way. Anyways, chest. Okay, not chest, but like almost chest. Speaking of chest, tomorrow's chest day. Don't we love chest day, guys? Furnace. Why is why is this tree cat going offline so much? Some guy I knew in high school. Okay, why can't I hold right click for the bundle? I have to like tap it. That's a little annoying. Mojang should fix that. Alrighty. What do we have here? Oh, more items. That's what we have. Of course we do. Alright. Now we're good. This. We don't need to build all the things out just yet. What am I doing? I'm building an outline. I'm building a shovel. Do I have iron? I do have iron. Ooh, but it's only 3. I'd rather make an iron pickaxe. Alright, we'll make a stone sort of shovel. Oh, okay. So yeah, make sure you're getting enough sleep. Also, make sure you're eating enough food. Apparently there's people who have problems with like not eating enough food. And what that ends up doing is you'll be weak, you'll feel really tired. I mean, it's weird though, because I eat enough food and I still feel tired. So I think also like timing your meals properly. Also more advice, there's no substantial difference in like whether or not you're making progress on a weight loss journey or whether or not you're doing intermittent fasting. Like that's a myth. It doesn't really do anything. It's just like a psychological thing at that point. So don't get like if it's hard for you to intermittent fast while losing weight, just have like spread out your meals, but have small meals instead. Like basically you just convert like lunch and dinner and breakfast into like just snack size portions. Um, Unless you're like, I don't know, everyone's different. But, you know, it's not as complicated as people make it seem. Just log your calories basically. And then depending on your goal, if you want to gain fat and muscle, well, if you want to gain mass in general, be in a surplus. If you want to lose mass, well, be in a deficit. And if you're happy with how you are, then you eat what is your maintenance. And this is where it's risky, because you can eat your maintenance every day. One day you go over, Now you're in the weight gain territory. And theoretically, it's not going to be significant enough to gain weight. I think over time it could add up. So you might want to just keep your weight in check, basically. Weigh yourself once a month. If you're straying too far, alright, you might want to tone it down. I don't know. I'm just yapping again. Don't take what I say as medical advice. It's not. It's just advice that I think would be helpful if I were to watch my own videos. Maybe myself 2 years ago. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of these videos. Would me from 2 years ago benefit from watching them? And my answer is yes. Yes, he would. Also, um, this is just an entertaining little segment here, but my elementary school best friend from the very first elementary school I went to ended up, I lost contact with him in grade 4, okay, so, because that's when I switched elementary schools, but he ended up being a transgender. Like, what? That was crazy. I found that out because his mom posted it on social media, and my mom saw it and showed me. I was just like, I was so shocked. It's like, that guy is a transgender now? Like, what? And it's like, yeah. And, I mean, I don't talk, I never stayed in touch with him. I tried to, but it never worked out. And it's like, okay, cool. I guess, I'm not gonna really stay in touch with him then. Not because he's a transgender, but like there were other problems I don't want to really get into. But it's just kind of crazy that he would be a transgender. But live and let live. So what can I say? Guess he's entitled to doing what he wants with his life. But he was young, man. He was like a teenager when he decided to be a transgender. Like how are you gonna be a teenager and be a transgender? That should not be allowed. But here in Canada, you can be a little kid and want a gender swap, and that's totally legal. It's like, okay, I don't agree with that, but whatever. Your life, not mine. I just never expected my best friends to like do that. I mean, he's not nearly my best friend anymore. He doesn't even remember me, I bet. But I haven't really reached out to him. Hello, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, I don't know. I think that's a nice little corner here. What else? Oh, come on. It's even. Why do I do this to myself? I have to shift it all over. Man. The make work program, guys. Well, hey, at least it's almost Christmas. Am I right or am I right? We all love Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, like, the only justifiable reason to not celebrate Christmas is if you're, like, not religious. If you're religious and you're not celebrating Christmas, there's gotta be something wrong with you. Alright. Yeah, I'm confident in saying that. Like, not okay to not like Christmas. Christmas is like the best season, holiday, whatever you want to call it. Okay, house is now swag. I think. Let me get more cobblestone and verify that claim. Look at me talk like I'm a freaking nerd, man. Verify that claim? Are we kidding? We're playing Minecraft. Why am I talking like that? What's wrong with me? Why does it have to be getting dark, man? Why is it? Okay, I need to go like ASAP, but this is worth it. This is worth it for the cause. Alright. Am I even gonna upload this tomorrow? I don't know. Whenever you guys see this video, if you guys see it, which I know you don't, because there's nobody watching my channel, who knows? I might not even remember to upload this, but the plan is I'll upload it tomorrow if I remember to. Maybe I can upload it while I go to my math lecture. That would be the best case scenario. Okay, we can do the door and then a window. A window and then a door. Okay, that's the wrong tool. I need to sleep. So... No. Why are you attacking me? Get away. Stay back, you beast. Okay. If I can get this upload going while I'm spending time in my math lecture, that would really work out for the sort of best. Also, I've been listening to XXX Tentacion recently today because my friend listens to it and it's like, wow, this artist is pretty good. I don't know if you guys sort of care about music taste, but I feel like he's gone out of circulation for a little bit. Also, like, what happened to all the good media? All the new media these days is very bad. Anyways, that's a topic I can pursue later. I don't want to use up all my topics at once. Okay, a 2-block window. Are we okay with that? Are we okay with a 2-block window? Probably. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. A 1-block. That's beautiful. I love how that worked out. Okay, and then a 2-block window. Do I love how that worked out? Or do I want it sealed? I think I want it sealed because I'm going to stack chests. But until next time, friends, that's all. Ooh, we can raid that village tomorrow or whenever I play this next. So many options and opportunities. Let me just place down my utilities. Until next time, friends. That's your host for the evening, Flamin'. If you guys didn't comprehend what just happened, that's like an Eminem reference. Low key, Eminem has gotten me through like a lot, man. I don't know where I'd be without M. My goat, Eminem. Okay, I want to keep this area nice and free, so we're gonna use the floor. Like this is prime real estate, guys. Look at it. Boom. Stone cutter. Bam. Guys, this is how you maximize profit, okay? Okay, I'll change that out for that. I don't know if that's accessible, but I don't really care. If it's not, oh no, well, you know what? There. Now it works. Now look, I have this whole area to sort of exist in. Need a farm. Oh man, I don't know. I don't have anything. I'll just shove a brick there. Yep. Who cares? Sure, that works. Oh, give me that shovel. Whoa. Wow, I'm very slow right now. My jaw hurts. I don't know, man. Just cook iron. I need pickaxe so I know to go mining when I get back. And I need a door. Wood, and I don't have any saplings to get wood. Ah! Oh, I can get sap. Okay, we're good. We're alright. Also, guys, watch Berserk. If you haven't watched Berserk, it's peak anime. Warning, there is some nudity in that anime. So yeah, if you're a kid, no bueno. Do not watch Berserk. But if you're not a kid, then go for it, man. If you haven't already, I mean, you probably have. It's very popular, but okay. Anyways, I will be ending the thing now. It was good. It was good. Good session here. Got a lot done. Found a beautiful area. Talked about some key topics, key takeaways. Get 8 hours of sleep, guys. 8 hours of sleep, and you're doing all right. Okay. So yeah, see you around. Bye.